So here we are, June of 2025. I did a retiring set list video in January at the beginning of the year, and a lot of the list has stayed the same, but there's been a lot of things that have changed on the list. A lot of sets have fallen off, a lot of sets have been added, and in some cases, some big names. So I figured it was time to update it now so that we get a clear vision of what is actually going to retire at the end of the year. And I'll probably do one more retirement video in the fall time to really dial that list in. But I'm going to go through every single theme and every single set that is going to retire by the end of the year. This list is from Brick Fanatics. No guarantee of retirement, as always. But without further ado, let's just jump right into this first theme. So right out of the gate, we're going to jump right into Lego ideas with the motorized lighthouse retiring, Disney Hocus Pocus, the Sanderson Sisters Cottage, the Insect Collection, Viking Village, the Orient Express train, and then two additions here. We're adding the family tree and the red London telephone box, which weren't on the list at the beginning of the year. Moving into Marvel, a big one that is dropping off this list is the X Mansion. That is going to be extended further than 2025, so you don't have to worry about that set anymore. But we also have a few additions to this list. Retiring here over the summer, we have the Rockets Warbird versus Ronin, and then the Green Goblin construction figure. Moving to the end of the year, we've got Spider-Man's car and Doc Ock, Team Spidey-Web Spinner Headquarters, Team Spidey Dino Crawler Rescue, the Daily Bugle. This is a big one. I'm going to be reviewing this set here very soon. This might be one of the biggest ones on this list, in my opinion, so if you want to get your hands on this, this is the year to do that. Infinity Gauntlet, Spider-Man Final Battle, Venom Mech Armor versus Miles Morales, War Machine Mech Armor, Spider-Man Race Car and Venom Green Goblin, Spider-Man vs. Sandman Final Battle, X-Men X-Jet, Rocket and Baby Groot, Spider-Man's Mask, Guardians of the Galaxy the Milano, Iron Man with Bike and the Hulk, Iron Man and Iron Legion versus Hydra Soldier, Thor versus Surtur construction figure, the Avengers versus the Leviathan, the Avenger Assemble Age of Ultron, Captain America versus Red Hulk battle. I kind of want that Red Hulk. Why, I don't know, but I want him. The Avengers Helicarrier, new Captain America construction figure, Iron Spider-Man construction figure, Iron Man Mech versus Ultron, Spider-Man Mech versus Anti-Venom, Iron Man car, and Black Panther versus Red Hulk. Moving over to Harry Potter, we have a lot of additions to this and then one notable set that is dropping off this list. First on the list is a big one, Diagon Alley. I just reviewed that one, so if you haven't seen that review yet, go check it out, see if it's something worth picking up. Hogwarts Icon Collector's Edition, Dobby the House Elf, Hogwarts Express and Hogsmeade Station, Hedwig at 4 Privet Drive, Hogwarts Castle Boathouse, Buckbeak, Hagrid's Hut and Unexpected Visit, Hogwarts Castle Owlry, Hogwarts Castle Potions Class, Mandrake, Aragog in the Forbidden Forest, Ollivanders and Madame Malkin's Robes, Triwizard Tournament, The Arrival, Hogwarts Castle Dueling Club, and then the 2025 Harry Potter Advent Calendar. And then a notable one that is dropping off the list is the Hogwarts Castle and Grounds. I think that is a beautiful set, and if you were wanting it, you at least have another year to be able to grab it, which is nice. Shifting over to Technic. At the beginning of the year, we had the BMW M1000RR leaving the shelves. It is no longer leaving the shelves. Also, another notable one is the Ferrari SP3 is going to be staying another year at least. And then also the 4GT and Mack garbage truck are both going to be staying on the shelves that were originally projected to retire. So that is big. But what is retiring? So first on that list is going to be the Lamborghini Cyan FKP 37. The McLaren Formula 1 race car is retiring. The Liebherr Crawler Crane LR 13,000, the biggest Lego Technic to date, if I recall. Peugeot 9x8 24H Le Mans Hybrid Hypercar. Yamaha MT-10 SP. The heavy-duty bulldozer, off-road race buggy, Mercedes AMG F1 W14 E-Performance pullback, the Neon McLaren, John Deere 9700, Neon McLaren Formula E race car, Emirates Team New Zealand AC-75 yacht, Surface Space Loader, Mars Crew Exploration Rover, the VTOL Heavy Cargo Spaceship, NASA Apollo Lunar Roving Vehicle. I did a review on that set. Really think it's underrated. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. The Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute, Lamborghini Huracan, and then we've got a few different motorized pieces that are going to be retiring as well. So if those are something you've been wanting to get your hands on, then grab those as well. Moving to icons, one of my favorite themes. We do have a few additions to this and then one set dropping off. The Boutique Hotel is retiring, Vespa 125, Lion Knights Castle, Jazz Club, Land Rover Classic Defender 90, Alpine Lodge, Medieval Town Square, Santa's Post Office, Blacktron Renegade, and then Over the Moon with Pharrell Williams is all retiring. And then what is dropping off that list is Everyone Is Awesome set. That one will probably stick around for a while, but at least an additional year on that one. But outside of that, we've got several things being added here, so make sure you keep a keen eye on icons. Lego Architecture, one set dropped off, one set was added. So we've got the New York City skyline now, which is a big one. So if you want to get the New York City skyline, make sure to do that. And then we also still have Paris. The London skyline is the one that dropped off this list and is no longer retiring this year. Shifting over to Ninjago, we've got a couple big additions, and then we also have one big one that is dropping off this list, which is exciting to see for anybody that wants to pick it up. So over the summer, we've got Kai's Source Dragon Battle retiring. That's the only set retiring by July 31st. Getting into what's retiring by the end of the year, a big one on this list is going to be the Ninjago City Markets. That was not on the list to begin with. That is now retiring at the end of this year. That is a big one for me. I love the Ninjago City sets, so I definitely want to have this one in the collection, and I'm hoping to get a review out with this one by the end of the year as well. So stay tuned for that, but make sure you grab it if you haven't yet. Then we've got Aaron's Battle Mech retiring, Jay's Mech Battle Pack, Cole's Elemental Earth Mech, and Sora's Elemental Tech Mech. We've got Kai's Elemental Fire Mech, Igalt the Master Dragon, Young Dragon Ryu, Aaron's Ninja Off-Road Buggy Car, Kai's Ninja Climber Mech, Wolf Mask Shadow Dojo, Zane's Ice Motorcycle, Tournament Battle Arena, Dragonstone Shrine, Tournament Combo Vehicle, Cole's Titan Dragon Mech, Source Dragon of Motion, Kai's Dragon Spinjitzu Spinner, and then also Sora's Dragon Spinjitzu Spinner, Ras and Aaron's Super Stormjet, and then Dragonian Storm Village. So a lot of sets retiring in Ninjago. What set is dropping off this list? That is going to be the Tournament Temple City. I really like this set. I'm really happy to get an additional year because I have not purchased it yet, but it is something I want and definitely need to pick up at some point. So that one we do have some extra time with, hopefully at least a year on that one. Shifting over to Dreamzzz, we have no changes on Dreamzzz. So this is all the same. Izzy's Dream Animals is retiring at the end of summer, July 31st. Retiring at the end of the year is the Never Witch's Midnight Raven, Zoe's Cat Motorcycle, Logan the Mighty Panda, the Never Witch's Nightmare Creatures, Cooper's Robot Dinosaur C-Rex, Mateo and Z-Blob the Night Battle Mech, Castle Nocturnia, Z-Blob's Robot and Vehicle Adventures, Bunchu's Creative Animal Adventures, Cooper's Gaming Controller Jet, Izzy and Bunchuro the Gaming Bunny, Mateo and the Z-Blob Action Race Car, and then Cooper's Tiger Mech and Zero's Hot Rod Car. Still have yet to do anything with Dreamzzz. Not really my thing, but if it's something that you enjoy, there's a bunch of sets retiring in the category. We're going to move over to DC. Batman, my favorite superhero of all time. In the DC superheroes category, we have just a couple additions to this list. We've got Batman Mech Armor retiring at the end of the year, Batman the Animated Series Gotham City. This is a big one. Keep your eye out on it. I think it's a really good set. Batman Construction Figure and the Batpod Bike, Batman and the Batmobile versus Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze. And then the two additions to this list that are now retiring are Batman and Batmobile versus Mr. Freeze and Superman Mech versus Lex Luthor. Super Mario, not much changing, only one addition to this list. Retiring over the summer, July 31st, is Bowser's Muscle Car, Goomba's Playground, and Soda Jungle Maker set. Retiring at the end of the year, Mighty Bowser, that's a big one. Battle with Roy at Peach's Castle, King Boo's Haunted Mansion, the Bowser Express Train, and then this is the additional one that's being added to the list for retirement at the end of the year, Donkey Kong and DK Jumbo. Shifting to Animal Crossing, I know this is a very popular theme. It's not so much my jam, but a lot of sets retiring here, so make sure to keep an eye out on this one. Julian's Birthday Party's retiring, Bunny's Outdoor Activities, Captain's Island Boat Tour, Isabella's House Visit, Nook's Cranny and Rosie's House, Fly with Dodo Airlines has been added to the list, and then KK's Concert at the Plaza has also been added to the list. Lego Fortnite, still one of my favorite games of all time, probably the only video game I play still to this date. 2 sets have been dropped off of this list, so nothing has been added, and most of you in the last video said that they probably would drop off, and you were all right. So the 2 sets that are retiring now are just the Durr Burger and Peely Bone. And then the 2 sets that they decided not to retire were obviously the Battle Bus, which is very popular, and then the Loot Llama is going to stay around for a little bit longer as well. Moving over to the Sonic theme, there are no changes on Sonic. We have Shadow the Hedgehog Escape retiring, Knuckles Guardian Mech, Tails Adventure Boat, Knuckles and the Master Emerald Shrine, Supersonic versus Egg Drillster, and then Shadow the Hedgehog. Creator 3-in-1, not my favorite theme in the world, but they do come out with some pretty cool sets, and occasionally I do pick one up. So there are several on here that you might want to keep an eye out on. We've got Cozy House retiring by July 31st. Retiring at the end of the year, we have Mighty Dinosaurs, Pirate Ship, Majestic Tiger, Adorable Dogs, Space Roller Coaster, Red Dragon, Modern House, Forest Animals Red Fox, Hamster Wheel, Tropical Ukulele, which I did build, Sea Animals, London Bus, I did buy actually a copy of this in London, Vespa, Land Rover Classic Defender, and then Daffodils. And the 2 sets that dropped off of this list were the postcards in the Creator 3-in-1 series. Those are going to hang around just a little bit longer. Despicable Me is the next theme here and has no changes on this. Minions in the Banana Car retiring, Minions Music Party Bus, Brick Built Gru and Minions, and then Minions and Gru's Family Mansion. So at the beginning of the year, we had no Wicked sets retiring. We do have a few on this list now. I know nothing about Wicked, to be frank, so I'm probably going to butcher these names, but here we go. Glinda, Alphaba, and Nessa Rose at Shiz Uni, Alphaba and Glinda Figures, and then Glinda and Alphaba's Dormitory. I apologize to any Wicked fans in advance. On the Wednesday theme, nothing changed there. We still have Wednesday Addams figure retiring, and then Wednesday in Enid's dorm room. Moving on to Speed Champions, we have a couple of additions and a couple removals. But what is retiring is the 2023 McLaren Formula One car, and that's retiring by July 31st this summer. Retiring by the end of the year, the Ford Mustang Dark Horse, the Audi S1 e-tron Quattro, the BMW M4 GT3 and BMW M Hybrid V8, the Lamborghini Lambo V12 Vision Gran Turismo, the Aston Martin Vantage, the NASCAR Next Gen Chevrolet Camaro, and the Kick Sauber F1 Team C44, which that's very odd to me because we have this full lineup of Speed Champions F1 cars, and they're talking about just retiring one, the Kick Sauber one, which that doesn't make a whole bunch of sense to me. I don't know why they just wouldn't keep the whole line around, and then when they're ready to retire just all of them at one time. But apparently on this list, one of them is going to be retiring, so take that with a grain of salt. Collectible minifigures retiring. There was one that retired at the beginning of the year, but at the end of this year, we're going to have the collectible race cars for F1 retiring. Like I said in the last video, I'm not a huge fan of these. I have started picking up a few here and there. I'm not even sure if I'm going to build them, but they're interesting, so just keep an eye out on them if you want to pick them up. Moving over to Disney, not a whole bunch has changed, but we do have a few sets that have dropped off the list that are being extended. But what is retiring? By July 31st, we're going to have Maleficent's Dragon Form, Disney Princess Market Adventure, and Snow White's Jewelry Box retiring by the end of the summer. Retiring by the end of the year, we have the Mini Disney Sleeping Beauty's Castle, the Disney Castle, which again I still need to grab, the Walt Disney Tribute Camera, Ariel's Music Stage, Isabella's Flower Pot, Elsa's Frozen Castle, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs Cottage, the Magical Madrigal House, Inside Out 2 Mood Cubes, Antonio's Animal Sanctuary, Moana's Flower Pot, Ariel's Crystal Cavern, Anna's Sleigh Adventure, Twirling Ariel, Encanto Mini House, the Advent Calendar for 2025, and then the Cinderella's Castle and Horse Carriage. The 2 sets that are falling off of this list are the smaller of the buildable Simba figures, and then also Elsa's Ice Palace is no longer retiring at the end of this year, just so you can take a breath on those 2. We had no sets retiring in Jurassic World at the beginning of the year, but now we have a bunch. We have Baby Bumpy Ankylosaurus, we have Baby Dinosaur Rescue Center, Dinosaur Fossils T-Rex Skull, Dinosaur Missions Stegosaurus Discovery, and then Dinosaur Missions Allosaurus Transport Truck. Moving over to City, we have a whole bunch of additions to this theme. We have the Cargo Train, mobile police dog training, fire rescue boat, fire command truck, construction trucks and wrecking ball crane, construction steamroller, race car and car carrier truck, car transporter with sports cars, yellow mobile construction crane, 4x4 fire truck with rescue boat, fire rescue plane, police mobile crime lab truck, yellow construction excavator, robot world, seaside harbor with cargo ship, jungle explorer off-road vehicle, spaceship and asteroid discovery, space explorer rover and alien life, modular space station, space base and rocket launch pad, tow truck, jungle explorer helicopter, base science lab, F1 garage and Mercedes AMG and Alpine cars. Again, we're seeing some more F1 sets starts to drop off, even though they were just put on the shelves here within the past year. Modular galactic spaceship, red sports car, off-road police car chase, wheel loader, donut truck, lifeguard beach rescue truck, pizza versus fire truck, aeroplane versus hospital bed, no limits race car ramp track, red farm tractor with trailer and sheep, scrapyard with cars, F1 grid with V-Carb and Sauber race cars, and then the city advent calendar for 2025. Friends is another long list, but only has had a couple changes on this list. Retiring, we have the Heart Lake City Community Center, stargazing camping vehicle, Heart Lake City shopping mall, mobile bakery food cart, karaoke music party, vintage fashion store, Heart Lake City Cafe, Ollie and Paisley's family houses, Heart Lake City Hospital, Adventure Camp Archery Range, Beach Water Scooter, Adventure Camp Cozy Cabins, Beach Smoothie Stand, Adventure Camp Water Sports, Heart Lake City Water Park, Adventure Camp Treehouse, Horse and Pony Trailer, Dog Grooming Car, Castle Bed and Breakfast, Andrea's Modern Mansion, Guinea Pig Playground, Surfing Dogs and Scooter Adventure, Cotton Candy Stand and Scooter, Alea's Baby Sister Playroom, Autumn's Room, Horse and Pet Vet Clinic, Restaurant and Cooking School, Heart Lake City Airport and Airplane, Hair Salon and Accessories Store, 2025 Friends Advent Calendar, and then Beekeeper's House and Flower Garden, and the Creative Beach and Travel Suitcase. The next theme is Gabbys Dollhouse, and when I was putting this video together, I don't remember even ever seeing a Gabbys Dollhouse set or even knowing this theme existed. I don't know if you guys knew it existed, but I said I was going to talk about every single set retiring, and so I'm going to do just that. So here's what's retiring in Gabbys Dollhouse. Crafting with Baby Box, Gabbys Kitty Care Ear, Gabbys Party Room. It kind of seems like this theme is for friends, but for the younger friends category. So take that for what you will. Moving over to the Brickheadz theme, we only had a couple additions to this list. Nothing fell off. We have Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, Captain America and Red Hulk figures, Iron Man MK5 figure, Iron Spider-Man, Potted Groot, Clone Commander Cody, Batman 8-in-1 figure, Joy, Sadness, and Anxiety, Wednesday and Enid, Dumbo, and then we've got Tom and Jerry's figures and Red Panda Mai. Moving on to Minecraft, also with this one, just a couple additions. So we've got the Fox Lodge, we've got Steve's Desert Expedition retiring, the Armory, the Turtle Beach House, the Nether Portal Ambush, the Frog House, the Pirate Ship Voyage, the Cherry Blossom Garden, the Wolf Stronghold, the Windmill Farm, the Badlands Mine Shaft, the Ender Dragon and End Ship, the crafting table, advent calendar for Minecraft, and then Baby Pig's birthday celebration. The seasonal theme also has a couple additions. So retiring by the end of the summer is the Money Tree by July 31st, and then retiring by the end of the year is Santa's Sleigh, Christmas Tree, Festival Calendar, Spring Animal Playground, Hedgehog Picnic Date, Halloween Barn, Christmas Ornament Selection, Santa's Delivery Truck, Love Bears, Trotting Lantern, and then Good Fortune. In the classic theme, pretty much everything is staying the same for the most part. By the end of the summer, we have Creative Houses retiring, and then by the end of the year, we have Creative Pets, Creative Space Planets, Vibrant Creative Brick Box, and then Creative Happy Box. And then for some of the exclusive sets that don't really fall into a specific theme, we have Travel Moments retiring by the end of the year, and then Message Board retiring by the end of the year. And then yes, I did make you wait around to the very end for the Star Wars theme, unless of course you just skipped right ahead, which is very easy to do. But outside of that, we've got several changes to this list. So we've got the Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder retiring. Darth Vader helmet retiring. The UCS Razor Crest. Coruscant Guard gunship is finally retiring. X-Wing Starfighter. Ghost and Phantom 2. Ahsoka Tano's T6 Jedi Shuttle. The Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack. The Onyx Cinder. The Tantive 4. The Invisible Hand. Bark Speeder Escape. The Mos Espa Pod Race Diorama. The Droideka. Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator. The Crimson Firehawk. Ahsoka Tano's Duel on Peridia, Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon Battle, Boarding the Tantive 4, Luke Skywalker X-Wing Mech, Creative Play Droid Builder, TIE Fighter and X-Wing Mashup, and then the Desert Skiff and Sarlacc Pit. So as you can see there, we've got a few sets added to the list, like the Droideka, but then we also have a big one that's not on the list anymore, like the Interceptor, the UCS Interceptor. So a lot of changes to this list as a whole. Like I said, I'll probably do one more update by the end of the year so we can dial in this list when the sales start dropping. So make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.